For people who travel long-term, insurance can be a difficult issue to navigate, and especially if you're from the United States. So the biggest thing to remember in this video is that you gotta consult your insurance provider. Now, if you're taking a short trip, usually in most policies you are covered. But if you plan on traveling for any extended period of time, it's best to assume that you will not be covered by your primary health insurance. Now with that, you're gonna have to get a secondary insurance. Or if you plan on traveling for a long period of time, you can get rid of your primary insurance and just get travel insurance. Now, the benefit of this, the best thing about this is the fact that, especially if you're from the United States, travel health insurance is much cheaper than traditional primary healthcare insurance. For example, I might be spending between $200 and $300 a month at home on insurance, and when I'm traveling, I just bought a policy for 6 months for $500. So you're spending a lot less money, and it's covered in emergency situations, hospital bills, things like that. But again, make sure you check each policy and each insurance provider individually. And to make this very straightforward, I use a company called World Nomads, and I've been using them for the last 10 years, and I have yet to have an issue. But they have been there. They cover all emergency room visits, they cover emergency evacuation, and a lot of high risk emergency healthcare problems. Now, if you want to get into dental, if you want to get into regular checkups, that's another policy altogether. But for the most extreme situations, for things that you will really need health insurance for, World Nomads will cover it. So that's something I highly recommend. Now let's talk about medications. And for those of you with medical conditions, the big question is, can I get my prescriptions filled while I'm traveling? The important thing to remember with this is, number one, be sure to refill your prescriptions before you leave. Ask for extras, ask for backups, whatever it may be. See how much you can get on reserve so that when you're traveling and you can't find your prescription, you have backup. Number two, foreign prescriptions are not honored in most countries, especially the developed ones. If you want to refill your prescription while you're traveling, you have to go to a local doctor. For example, if you're in Germany, you have to go to a German doctor and have them write you a new prescription. Number three, it is possible in many cases to have your home pharmacy ship your prescription to the local pharmacy where you are. Now, this all depends on country. This all depends on reliable mail, reliable pharmacies. You will have to pay for shipping, but it is a possibility. And number four, keep in mind, in more underdeveloped countries, things are a lot less formal. There's a good chance you could go to a pharmacy. If you know the word that you're looking for and the prescription that you need, you can go and request that, pay in cash, and receive your prescription or a form of that. Luckily, to date, I have not had to deal with this issue. I've only had to get like iodine tablets and things for open wounds and stuff like that. But as far as prescription goes, there's no clear-cut answer here. So the best thing to do is do your research, check with your home pharmacy, and be prepared with backups when you start traveling. And the third medical topic I want to cover in this video is vaccinations. And first and foremost, consult your doctor. I am not a professional, and what I'm about to say is based on my own opinion, my own experience, and nothing more than that. Unless you're going to sub-Saharan Africa or into the Amazon, you don't need most vaccinations. There are other tropical areas where you'll want to take malarial medicine in the Caribbean, etc. But for the most part, the insistence on vaccinations in the US before you go traveling is very much overblown. If you do your research, you'll realize that there are really very few regions around the world that are of serious concern. With that being said, the big ones to be concerned about right now are malaria and yellow fever. Now, yellow fever vaccinations are very cheap and easy. I go to a place called Passport Health for all my vaccinations, so I don't have to schedule a traditional doctor's appointment, and they're very good about letting me know what vaccinations that I need for which countries that I'm going to. Now, if you're going to a country with a high occurrence of malaria, you can take pills in advance to reduce the likelihood of you getting it. Now, me personally, I've never taken malaria pills because the side effects can be pretty bad. And I've heard some horror stories of people taking malaria prevention pills and getting very sick. And knock on wood, again, I haven't had any issues with my health while traveling over the past 10 years, but it's good to be aware of all of the different scenarios in which you could be sick. And for me personally, not taking those malaria pills has been beneficial so far. Most definitely consult your doctors, consult a professional before you trust my advice and my opinion. That's just my own 2 cents and how I've been able to stay healthy for the past 10 years. And if you want, I actually have a video all about how I stay fit while traveling on my YouTube channel. I'll leave a link to that in the resources document of this video as well. Also, on top of that, I will leave a bunch of different resources for you to look over in regards to medications, vaccinations, and health insurance. With that said, let's keep moving.